Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every woman's life when silence becomes her greatest scream, when being overlooked turns into her awakening, and when being taken for granted becomes her final lesson. Not for her, but for him. You gave your heart without asking for much. You gave your time, your loyalty, your softness. But the truth is, some people only see value when it's gone. Some only learn the weight of your presence in your absence. He thought you would stay. Through the excuses, through the empty promises, through the half-love he offered. But you were never meant to be half-loved. You are not made for breadcrumbs. You are the whole damn bakery. So why were you starving in his presence? Why were you begging for the attention you always deserved? It's time to teach him, not with revenge, not with hatred, but with evolution, with your glow-up, with your unapologetic comeback. He didn't value your voice. Let the world hear it roar. He didn't respect your worth. Then wear your confidence like armor. Make your life so big that he becomes a footnote in your story. You don't chase, you attract. And what no longer values you, let it walk. Let it be replaced. Let it remember you. In every woman who isn't you. Because no one compares to a woman who knows her worth. A woman who has tasted her own power. A woman who refuses to shrink, just to fit into someone else's world. He took you for granted because he thought you'd never leave. Now make him see what walking away looks like. Make him feel the cold of your silence, the absence of your care, the echo of everything he lost. Don't cry. Smile. Not because it didn't hurt, but because you healed yourself. You learned the lesson, and now you're rewriting the script. This isn't just about him. This is about every time you settled. Every time you said, it's okay when it wasn't. Every time you gave without receiving. Every time you lowered your standards so someone else could feel taller. No more. Raise the bar. Raise your standards. Raise your voice. Because the most dangerous woman is the one who knows she deserves more. Let your success be the thunder. Let your silence be the storm. And let your evolution be the answer. And when he sees you, rising, glowing, winning without him, let that be his lesson. You're not coming back. Because queens don't return to kingdoms they outgrew. You've built your own empire now, brick by brick, battle by battle. You've a fire all along. He just tried to cage it. But darling, fire doesn't ask for permission to burn. Remember, the way someone treats you is a reflection of them. Not you. You were enough. He just wasn't ready. Or worse, he didn't recognize gold while holding it. So leave. Not in bitterness, but in brilliance. Smile. Not because you lost him, but because you found you. You became your own rescue mission. You picked up the pieces he left behind and built a mosaic of strength. You became art. He had a masterpiece and treated it like wallpaper. Now let him decorate his world with regrets, while you decorate yours with freedom, with dreams, with boldness. Be the woman who walks in a room and makes silence powerful. Not because she demands attention, but because she doesn't need it. You're not here to beg. You're not here to shrink. You're here to rise, to shine, to walk away when you're not valued. Because when they realize what they lost, it will already be too late. Your life is not a waiting room. You're not on pause. You're the main event. He lost you. And that loss is his cost. So now, let your growth speak louder than your pain. Let your smile say, I made it, without you. Don't block him, don't text him, don't warn him. Just disappear from his world and reappear in your own. Louder, stronger, unshakable. If he ever sees you again, let it be in the headlines, in the crowd, on the cover, but never in his arms again, because queens don't bow twice. You loved with grace, you left with power, and now you lead with fire. To every woman listening, never let someone treat you like an option when you were born to be a priority. Never let anyone teach you to question your worth. You define your value, not their attention, not their presence, and definitely not their validation. Teach him, not with vengeance, but with evolution. Teach him not with tears, but with triumph. Teach him not with rage, but with radiance. Let your silence scream, I am no longer available at the price of disrespect. You were the spark. He dimmed it, but now you're the wildfire, and you can't be stopped. Not now, not ever. Don't wish he comes back, wish he learns that taking you for granted was the most expensive mistake of his life. You're a lesson. You are the consequence. You are the one who got away and never looked back. You once loved him like he was your home, but even homes can become cages. And you? You were never made for confinement. You stayed through storms he created. You wiped tears he caused. You held on while he let go. But something changed. Not overnight, but quietly, gradually, deeply. You found your fire again. You remembered who you were before he told you who to be, before he made you doubt your shine and dimmed your energy. There's a difference between loving someone and losing yourself for them. You chose love. You chose comfort. Comfort in knowing you'd stay. Comfort in thinking you'd always forgive. But comfort breeds complacency. And complacency kills respect. So now you're gone. Not in rage, not in tears, but in peace. That's what hurts the most. That you didn't explode. You evolved quietly, powerfully. You didn't beg. You built. You didn't plead. You planned. You stepped into a version of yourself that no longer fits the mold he once controlled. A version where you're not asking, you're choosing. You loved him with a heart that didn't hold back. He handled it with hands too weak. Now, you only give that kind of love to someone with the strength to hold it. Someone who sees your power and doesn't feel threatened. Someone who matches your energy instead of draining it. Your silence now is sacred. It says more than your words ever could. Because healing doesn't always make noise. Sometimes it just glows. Let him wonder why you're not chasing. Let him question why you're not calling. Let him sit in the void that your absence created. Because real loss isn't when someone leaves. It's when they leave and never come back. It's when you realize you had a diamond, but treated it like dust. You were the peace in his chaos, the calm in his storm, the love in his indifference. And still, he looked away. That's fine. Let him look away. Because now the world is watching you, watching your rise, your transformation, your comeback. You gave chances he didn't earn, time he didn't respect, love he couldn't hold. But you kept showing up until you stopped. And that was the moment you took back your power. Growth isn't revenge, it's freedom. It's no longer being afraid to lose people who never valued staying. He lost someone who could have built an empire with him. And now you're building it without him. Brick by brick, vision by vision, heartbeat by heartbeat. You no longer bend, you belong. You no longer chase, you choose. Say this with me. I'm not someone you can forget. I'm someone you regret. You are his karma, not by destruction, but by distance. Because being unavailable is the loudest boundary you can set. Watch him scroll through your photos, reread your old messages, replay memories, and still find no way back in. That's not cruelty. That's consequence. Consequence of taking a real one for granted. You gave him loyalty. He gave you excuses. You gave him depth. He stayed shallow. You gave him everything. He gave you just enough to stay confused. No more confusion. Now comes clarity. Now comes healing. Now comes you. You as your own savior. You as your own muse. You as your own damn hero. He didn't teach you how to love. He taught you what not to settle for. And that was his only gift. Now take that wisdom and run with it. Into new rooms, into new levels, into new circles that see your value before you even speak. Your absence should haunt him. Your silence should echo. Your glow-up should be the lesson he never stops learning from. Because one thing's for sure, you didn't lose him. He lost you. You were the answer. He kept asking the wrong questions. You were the light. He wore blindfolds. You were magic. He thought it was ordinary. Let him date distractions. Let him scroll endlessly. Let him chase what doesn't challenge him. Because you're not in that race. You're in a league of your own. You're not competing, you're creating. Not for him, not for validation, but for the woman you promised yourself you'd become. The one who doesn't flinch anymore. The one who knows the value of walking away. The one who looks in the mirror and sees more than pretty. She sees power. Power he never knew how to handle. Power he underestimated. It's okay. Let him miscalculate. Because now you're on a path he can't follow. A path made of purpose, of fire, of faith, of fierce self-love. You're not a lesson anymore. You're a legacy. And legacy doesn't chase. Legacy chooses. Legacy leads. Legacy lives on long after the ones who didn't see it. So no, you don't owe him closure. You don't owe him access. You don't owe him anything. Just give him one gift. The silence that says, you had the best. And now, you've lost it. Say it softly. Say it with your smile. Say it with your success. Say it by never returning.